Here are 5 mistakes real estate agents make that cost them to lose a lot of money in clients. Make sure you do not make these mistakes. You don't have deals falling through and you don't have clients unhappy with you, firing you and moving on to another agent, okay? So make sure you watch it to the end and let's get right into it. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Aram. I'm a real estate agent here in the Chicagoland area and investor. So if you enjoy this video, just like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna get right to the beans and potatoes of this entire conversation. All right. How real estate agents lose money and clients. They kind of go hand in hand because if you lose money, that means the deal fell through. And if it's because of you, your client's leaving, right? So they're connected, a symbiotic relationship. If you're losing money, you're probably losing a client, right? So the number one mistake that real estate agents are going to be making is you're too focused on closing a deal. Sometimes people refer to this as commission breath. Listen, don't just be focused on, hey, this guy needs to buy a house right now, right now, right now. What that's going to result to is the client saying, you know what, this guy is too much pressure. He clearly doesn't give a damn about me. He's not looking out for my best interest. I need to find a different real estate agent. Even though that might not even be the case. You might just be eager to find him a great deal, right? But don't be so focused on trying to make every single deal happen, right? You show them the properties, and you do what you can. You run the numbers, you give them your expertise, and then you let the cards fall where they may. Okay, so don't be too focused on closing a deal for a specific person. Number 2, this right here almost cost me a client. I personally made this mistake, and I learned in year 3. This is where it really bit me in the ass, and I never make this mistake again. And that's making decisions for your clients. Never, ever, ever, ever do that because guess what? You're gonna be the scapegoat if something goes wrong. Allow me to give you the scenario of what happened to me. Client comes and says, Aram, do whatever you need to do. Open reign, do whatever you wanna do. I need this house. So what does Aram do? Aram goes to the listing agent, we figure out the situation, I smooth talk my way in and I offer 10 grand over asking and I lock it down. Easy enough. He signs the contract, then 2 days later I get a phone call. Well, Aram, I feel like you didn't get me the best deal. I feel like you were a pushover on negotiation, and I feel like you just kind of didn't care, and you put the offer in whatever so you could make money. Me being dumbfounded because I got that only 10 grand over ask is a pretty good deal, among all standards. So I'm like, well, I don't know where this has come from. I apologize. I didn't, you said anything necessary, and this is what was necessary. But I said, you know what? We can back out of the deal. I apologize. Again, you never blame the client. You never argue. It's my fault. I apologize. It was my mistake. Why am I making decisions for you? It's your money, right? So moving forward, even though I've had clients say, hey man, I'm going to send you a blank contract, put whatever price you want on that. I say, I don't care. I don't work like that. I will call you every time a decision needs to be made. I will present the options and you will make the decision. Therefore, it's no longer your fault if something goes wrong. You presented the options, you gave them the good and the bad for everything, and they made the decision, right? So don't ever put yourself in between people and their money by making a decision for them. And it's an emotional process, and they will keep leaning on you. Your clients will keep leaning on you, saying, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? How much should we offer? Yada, yada, right? Always give options. Number 3, this one's pretty obvious, but you would be surprised how many agents make this mistake. And I almost made that mistake this morning, but I got on top of it. And that's bad communication with both everybody involved in the real estate transaction and your client, okay? Communication is the most important thing because the real estate process itself is not that difficult. You really don't have to communicate. But to your client, it's the biggest deal of their life, and they're in the dark for like 4 weeks when there's like a dead zone when you're trying to get your mortgage. There's really nothing happening, and they just think you're not working, right? So it's important to be communicating with your clients and always letting them know what's going on, what's the next step. And furthermore, because there's so many people involved in a real estate transaction, miscommunication can happen so easily, right? And allow me to explain. I literally had a deal where my client is telling me, there's appraisal issues, but I haven't heard back from the attorney or the lender, so I have no idea what's going on, right? So never assume that somebody is going to handle the problem. You as an agent, your job is to find out somebody and make sure they're handling the problem. So what I do, I put a group email together with the client and everybody else involved and said, hey, give me a status update. What's the situation? What are we doing to resolve it? Who is resolving it? And what can I do to help, right? That's good communication because I can't tell you how many deals fall through because agents kind of like, oh, we'll get to the closing table. We have 2 weeks. We have 3 weeks. get ahead of it, okay? If there's a problem, get ahead of it. Make sure you're always checking in with your lenders. You're always checking in with the attorney. You're always checking in with your client, making sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do so you get a smooth transaction through and through, all right? And these are some of the things that your clients don't even know you do, which is another tip. Always make sure everything you do, you let the clients know so they actually know you're working for your money. Number 4, this is across the board, but if you don't do this the right way, it's gonna cost you a lot of money because you're gonna lose a lot of clients because of this, okay? And that's setting expectations up front. A lot of agents do not set expectations up front. They don't explain the emotional process. They don't explain the buying or selling process. They don't explain their process, and they don't explain the people involved in the transaction and how everything is gonna come together. So when you set expectations, and there is a 2-week period where, you know, the sellers, no one's calling the client, they know, oh, this is the dead zone, right? Or if there is an issue that comes up, like for example, hey, you're gonna be super emotional and we're gonna get a lot of repair requests, make sure you do this, this, and that when that happens, right? And when you set expectations, it makes dealing with the client so much easier, which means you can actually make it to the closing table and less deals will fall through. It's very simple, but I'm telling you, life is that simple. We're just complicating it, okay? Moving on to number 5, this one hits home, okay? And that's not educating yourself, not growing with your clients. A lot of agents don't really take the time to become good agents, right? Therefore, you're always going to lose clients to agents like myself and other professionals who know how to run comps, who know how to speak, who know how to, you know, value rental property, who know what to look for, who know how to set expectations, right? Who know like all the little tips and tricks to get your client's offer accepted. And you're always gonna lose clients to, you know, agents like myself and other professionals. Now you're watching this video, which means you are educating yourself, right? But never ever stop learning new things, because every time you learn a new thing, you're adding a new type of client to your business, right? For example, right now I'm really into this like Section 8 stuff. I've been seeing a lot of it on TikTok, so I'm heavily educating myself. I'm trying to figure out how does this work? Where do we find the tenants? Where are the best cities to do this in? What's the best counties? Who's got the best tenant laws, etc., right? So when a client comes to me and says, Aram, I only have $25,000, what can I do? Oh, I also now have this suggestion for you, right? Before I didn't even know this existed. So always be educating yourself so you're finding new options, new opportunities for both yourself and your clients. So there you have it. These are 5 mistakes that real estate agents make that results in them losing a ton of money. Now, I personally probably lost over $100,000 making these very same mistakes. So I am not an angel. If you're watching my content, if you made it to the end, may God bless you. I teach through experience, and that's where that's where my confidence comes from, because I've made these mistakes and I know how catastrophic they could be, right? I'm not reading a PDF and then hitting you with a boom, boom, bang, bang, right? So I'm no preacher. I make mistakes. You will make mistakes. Just make sure you can identify them early and adjust accordingly. So if you enjoyed this video, again, I ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. And I got 2 things for you. If you like talking to me every week, there's a Patreon link in the description. For $25 a month, you get 4 coaching calls a month. Once a week, every Thursday, 10 a.m. Central. I rarely miss a call. If I do, we schedule it for the next day, right? It's an hour group setting. Come in, ask me anything you want, and go about your merry day, all right? However, if you want more one-on-one private conversation, there's also a link in the description for an hour-long coaching call. That's $150. If you made it to the end, go ahead. When I email you, can use the discount code Losing Clients, and I'll give you $25 off. Easy enough. All right, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.